and welcome to round number 2 of the 2023-24 World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing. We come to Weedsport Speedway for the second of 10 races on this series. Tim Terry and Chase Rodman here to call all the action for you. And Chase, we saw some exciting racing last week. Some big names missing the feature, missing the mark. If they did make the main event, Alex Bergeron coming away with that first win. What are we going to see here tonight?
We're going to see a lot of great action here at Weedsport Speedway. It is the trickiest track that these drivers will go to all season long. We're going 10 races, but this is the track, in my opinion, that throws the drivers for the loop the most. It is not symmetrical on either side by any means, whether I'm talking about the straightaways or the corners. Every part of this racetrack, when you drive around it, is completely different from the part you just exited. So these drivers will be on their toes all night long trying to find that grip, and that is a hard thing to find around Weedsport. This place gets super slick, and it's tough to find that moisture. So we'll see who can do it here tonight as we take a look at the schedule. As you mentioned, we were at Volusia last week. Alex Bergeron able to get the win for the 5th time in his career at that speedway. Never been a winner here at Weedsport, though. Williams Grove next week, then Lincoln, then I-55, Knoxville, 2 weeks off for the holidays, Fairbury, Port Royal, Eldora, and we crown a champion at the dirt track at Charlotte.
This race earlier in the season than it was last year, it being the 9th of 10 races last year. We're all fighting for some cash here this evening, and as well on the season. Season prize pool, $10,000 to win, $300, $200, $100 for the feature podium. And this is the point standings after race number 1. And we said Alex Bergeron won the race last week on top of the standings. Top 15 retain eligibility for their license next season as we continue on. Some surprises there, and we'll document that throughout the evening. But as you mentioned, this racetrack is going to provide us with some great racing tonight, Chase.
Yeah, here at the port located in Upper New York, and taking a look at this track map right here. This is where there's not much sprint car racing that goes on here at Weedsport throughout the year in real life. It's more known as a big block and small block modified racetrack, but whenever the sprint cars show up here, they always put on one whale of a feature. As you can see right there at the bottom of the screen, Dylan Yeager, the defending winner of this race. He is not in the field here tonight. Only one driver in the field tonight as a win here at Weedsport. That is Hayden Cardwell, but as you can see right there, it kind of looks like, due from that map, that both corners look somewhat the same. But I'll tell you what, if this is your first time watching the Weedsport, it won't take you very long to realize that they are not anywhere near close to each other as far as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 go. Looks like we're getting close to race time here, Tim.
As we are the field for heat race number 1 beginning to grid. First of 4 10-lap heat races, top 4 advance, 2 last chance showdowns where we'll take the top 2. No caution periods in the heats and the last chance showdowns. Chase, this is heat race number 1. Who is starting where?
Yeah, let's take a look at the lineup for the first heat race. The driver on the pole is out of Chico, California for the Momentum SimSport team. It's the number 24 of Tanner Pettit. Outside of him, the number 23 car, that is Kenny Miller III out of Morgantown, Pennsylvania for Phantom Motorsports. Row number 2 on the inside, the 32 car, that is Lane Snook from Mifflintown, Pennsylvania for Momentum SimSport. And outside of him, it's the number 50, that's Clayton Davies out of Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia for Synergy Sim Racing. Row number 3 on the inside, the 49 car, that's Ryan Avila. He is from Lemoore, California for Momentum SimSport, and outside of him, number 46, that is Matthew Powell from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, driving for Elite Performance Industries. Row 4 on the inside, the 38 car, Brett Strickler out of York, Pennsylvania, driving for the Brett Marks Racing Sim team, and outside of him from Santa Rosa, California for Momentum SimSport, the number 16 car is Joey Lindgren. And your final starter for this one, the number 47 machine out of Kenosha, Wisconsin for Phantom Motorsports, that is Chance Siskowski. So 9 cars, 10 laps here in the heat race in the top 4. We'll move on to the feature event here. Tanner Pettit on the pole of this one. In my research for this race, Tim, earlier this year, I should say, for the 2023 finale of our last season, Tanner Pettit came from the last chance showdown and ended up finishing inside the top 5 here at Weedsport. So no surprise to see him here on the pole this one.
As you take a look at the weather, 69 degrees, 6 mile an hour wind, and the track temperature at 71. The one that surprises me is Sikowski, who is going to start scratch in this heat race. Chase set the 5th quickest time in the hot lap session a little bit earlier on, so was quick after getting a couple of laps in. Maybe didn't show it in his qualifying session but is going to have to dig from position number 9. We are taking the top 4, and just a side note on that, the 47 did not make the feature on week number 1 at Volusia. It is Tanner Pettit and Kenny Miller going to be on the front row as we bring this thing to green. Round number 2 of the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing as the field comes out. A 4 green flag flies, and Pettit, what a start.
Yeah, good jump for him. It's not a very good jump for your outside pole sitter. Kenny Miller slips into the 3rd position, works back to the inside of Lane Snook, who bounces off the back straightaway wall, and right back to the 2nd spot goes Kenny Miller, the 3rd. He'll have the 2nd spot across the start-finish line now. A challenge for 3rd on the inside. The number 50 car, Clayton Davies, trying to get by the 32 car of Lane Snook, and he will have it down the back straightaway.
Avila didn't get going on that start. Now back to the inside, looking for that transfer position on Snook. Trying to make that inside line work, throws it down to the inside. Snook maintains the outside. Going to be Avila picking up that position and trying to pick up what he can off of that initial start as they now battle for position number 3 with Kenny Miller.
A good race here from 2nd on back.
As they come out of corner number 4 and come across the line, Pettit continues to lead with Davies, Miller, and Avila, your top 4. You ride on board with Sikowski. Chase Sikowski has to come from the back of the field, has made up a couple of spots, but still needs a few more here to transfer through the heat.
Yeah, we saw this a few times last week at Volusia, guys starting from the very last position and able to make their way into the transfer spot. We saw Evansy and Blake Majulis both do it at Volusia. Siskowski's going to need a little luck on his side here if he wants to make it happen. Race for 2nd up the road, though. As you can tell, this is quite the battle going on for the 3rd position, or 2nd, I should even say. Clayton Davies has it, but here comes Ryan Avila making his way towards the front. Rolling the inside line, gets by the 23 of Miller, but wants to get to that 2nd spot. That would be a pretty good starting position for tonight's feature.
Once Avila gets rolling, he is able to pick up a couple of positions after that little bit of a rougher start. He's now battling for position number 3, trying to hold off Miller and trying to get 2nd away from Davies. Up the hill goes Avila. Looking down is Miller as they'll come by this time to the white flag. Tanner Pettit is gone away from this field.
White flag, 1 to go, and Tanner Pettit out to about a 10-car length lead over Clayton Davies, who's got a 2-car length advantage over Ryan Avila. They come through 3 and 4 for the final time, and the 24 of Tanner Pettit, he'll be on the pole looking for his first ever World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series win here tonight at Weedsport.
Wire to wire picks up heat race number 1. The top 4 separated themselves from the rest of the field, and they will be going directly into the feature event later on this evening. Davies, Avila, Miller, top 4, they transfer. Snook, Sikowski from position at number 9 moves to 6. We'll have to go to a last chance showdown. Lindgren, Strickler, and Powell complete your field. But a solid run by Tanner Pettit, going to put himself on provisional pole here at Weedsport for the feature later on. Chase, I believe you caught up with him.
Yeah, winner of heat race number 1 in relatively dominating fashion is the driver of car number 24. As we're just waiting for Tanner Pettit here to come into our broadcast booth, and we will grab a quick word with him here after that strong performance in the heat race. Tanner, last time we were here at Weedsport, you came out of the last chance showdown and drove all the way to the top 5, and now you're a heat race winner. You seem to really like Weedsport.
Yeah, Weedsport's one of my favorites. It's definitely really technical. It's definitely one of the hardest tracks on the game by a long shot. Definitely going quick time, winning the heat makes things a lot easier this year. See if we can't go get ourselves a W.
All right, Tanner Pettit, good luck the rest of the night as we will take a look at the lineup for heat race number 2. And on the pole of this one is going to be the driver of car number 5. He's out of Franklin, Pennsylvania for the Ubbles Up SimSport car of Braden Eiler. And outside of him, the number 14, that's J.D. Brown out of Bakersfield, California for Alpha Industries. Row number 2 on the inside, it's his teammate, the 52 car, that's James Edens out of Santa Rosa, California. And outside of him, it's the 3-time World of Outlaws champion out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, the Team ABR setup shop number 12 of Alex Bergeron. Row 3 on the inside, the number 41 car, that's Logan Rumsey out of Manchester, Pennsylvania for Alpha Industries, and outside of him, the number 11, that is Kenny Hoffman from Allentown, Pennsylvania for Nitro Circus Sim Racing. Row 4 on the inside from Cass City, Michigan, the Momentum SimSport number 20 of Aiden Forster, and outside of him, the number 1, that's Mason Hannigan. He's out of Pittsburgh, Indiana for Black Diamond Motorsports. Final car in this group, in this heat race, is the driver to Noraville, New South Wales, Australia for Vortex SimSport. The number 89 is Nathan Van de Wacker. So here we go, heat race number 2. We've got some pretty big names, including the top 2 in the World of Outlaws point standings right now, or I should say the top 3, actually. We got Edens, Bergeron, and Rumsey, and what's weird, Tim, is none of them starting on the front row here of this one.
And they will have some work to do. We'll see if all 3 of those are among the 4 that transfer in. And we'll take one more look at the prize pool that we have here this season. $10,000 for the champion, all the way down to the top 10 get paid. And then per race for feature competition, $300, $200, and $100 for the top 3 here this evening in the 35-lap main event at Weedsport and all throughout this season. And you look down the list of drivers, you look at a Braden Eiler, didn't have the best of races at Volusia, didn't crack the field. One of those drivers that didn't make the field in one of those bigger stories of the week. Now starts up in front with this one, but has J.D. Brown, James Edens, Alex Bergeron, Logan Rumsey, Hoffman, Forster. This is a stacked heat race.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, looking at Alex Bergeron here coming in as the points leader, the winner last week at Volusia, looking at his stats, the best finish I could find for him in World Championship competition here at Weedsport, just a 6th place, never been inside the top 5. And his qualifying effort shows that not exactly his best racetrack here. So we'll see if Bergeron can do something here and gain a couple of positions. Right now, we'll start on the bubble spot as far as the transfers goes. We go green here in heat race number 2.
Top 2 on that inside, get out to an early advantage. Bergeron in that black number 12, trying to get the best J.D. Brown in the 14 to the outside. Eden's able to pick up position number 2 in that purple 52. They get single file for your top 2. Bergeron, as he did last week at Volusia, he is on that inside line.
And cars all over the racetrack here at Weedsport. That's one of the interesting things about this track, is it doesn't matter if it's slick or it's hooked up as it is right now. 1 and 2, you're going to be able to see cars all over the racing surface. Bergeron on the bottom, Edens in the middle, and your race leader, Braden Eiler, was on the top the last time by through 1 and 2. So a lot to choose here in this heat race.
Albeit just a few laps in, we are seeing that top 4 or so kind of creep away from the rest as you look back from J.D. Brown. That is your transfer car. That's your bubble car. Logan Rumsey's next in line back there. He's got a little bit of work to do to get up to the number 14.
We got a battle for the 2nd spot. Give it to Alex Bergeron down the back straightaway. Is he done there as he looks underneath the number 5 of Braden Eiler? James Edens works back to the right rear tire of Bergeron now down into turn number 1. Bergeron up to the left rear, now to the side. And there's a battle for the lead down the back straightaway, and Alex Bergeron goes from 4th to the lead in 6 laps here as he drives right by Braden Eiler to the top spot.
Alex is so smooth on that inside line, able to do amazing things as we've seen the last couple of weeks. Sets to it, goes to the inside, picks up the advantage. Alex Bergeron, your leader, but Eiler going to try to fight back on the outside line as we have 3 laps to go. Almost kissed the wall in turn 1 and 2 as they pull back even side by side down into 3.
We haven't seen the end of Braden Eiler quite yet here. Looks extremely good on this side of the racetrack right here in 1 and 2. Rips the top side, nearly clips that wall, and diamonds it off the corner and tries to gain ground on the number 12 of Alex Bergeron. This time by the white flag is in the air. If Braden Eiler wants it, he's going to have to come and get it. He's got 2 car lengths to make up here on the final lap.
Gets it wound up on the outside, drives it off of turn number 2, but can't make up the ground that he needs to on Alex Bergeron. One more shot here through 3 and 4. Can he get there? No, he can't. Alex Bergeron is your winner of heat race number 2 and picks up the outside pole position for the feature later on this evening. Eiler, Edens, Brown, top 4. Forster, Hoffman, Hannigan, Van de Wacker, and Rumsey. Your field. Logan Rumsey had issues late in that heat race. So the first 2 are in the book. 2 more coming up after this.
Dirt Vision is home to the greatest shows on dirt, led by World of Outlaws Sprint Cars, the pinnacle of dirt racing. If you can't be at the track, Dirt Vision is the only place to watch the Outlaws and the most powerful late models on the planet. You also get the Super Dirt Car Series, Dirt Cars Summer Nationals, and Extreme Outlaw Midgets. Dirt Vision brings you nearly 500 live races, including weekly racing at America's premier tracks. See them all with a Dirt Vision Fast Pass. There are flexible options so both casual and hardcore fans can live stream races on multiple devices. You also get 2,000 classic races free in our video vaults, along with Dirt Vision QuickTime, off days features, and our 24/7 streaming channel, Dirt Vision Now. Register for free or buy your Fast Pass now at dirtvision.com or on the Dirt Vision app.
The World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster now does direct drive. The T818 is perfect for every sim racer with a constant, unfiltered 10 Nm of torque for precise and powerful force feedback. It's compatible with the full Thrustmaster ecosystem, including an improved quick release system. Place your order today at thrustmaster.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Grab the 2023 Season Update or Edition on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch.
Welcome back to Weedsport. 2 heat races in the books, and heat race number 2 winner was Alex Bergeron. He's caught up with Chase Rodman.
After starting 4th, gets to the victory. Alex, looking at your stats here at Weedsport when it comes to the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, no wins, and I don't think I found a top 5 for you. And that qualifying effort, I was a little bit worried, but man, it looked like you had it figured out there in that heat race.
Yeah, it was not too bad. We did pretty decent in the heat race. Just didn't expect this qualifying run. We did a pretty good line, and I think I was just not close enough to the bottom, so just pure error on myself. So we just recovered back in the heat race and just made sure we hit that bottom right this time.
Alex Bergeron, winner of heat race number 2. We wish him luck for the rest of the night. As we get into the 3rd heat race lineup, let's take a look at who starts where in this one. On the pole, it's going to be the defending World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series champion, the driver out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania for Elbows Up Simsport. The number 85 is Tyler Schell. Outside of him, that's Alex Bergeron's teammate, the number 13 of Aiden Beerline. He's out of Woodford, Virginia, in the Team ABR setup shop car. Row number 2 on the inside, the 21, that's Cameron Pritchard from Carlisle, Pennsylvania for Dirty South Sim Racing. And outside of him, number 86, that's Timothy Smith out of Rocheport, Missouri for M9 Performance. Row 3 on the inside, the 127, that is going to be Blake Majulis. The driver is out of Asheville, New York for CFM Esports. And outside of him, the number 42, that's Noah Carpenter from Spring Hill, Florida for M9 Performance. Row 4 on the inside, the 22, that's Alex Szerzynski from Kenosha, Wisconsin for Black Diamond Motorsports. And outside of him, the most recent winner here at this racetrack out of Knoxville, Tennessee, the 07 is Hayden Cardwell. Your final starter in this one out of Lone Jack, Missouri, the number 88 of Garrett Holsey. He drives for Elite Performance Industries. So 9 cars once again, and a big turnaround here, hopefully, potentially, for the number 85 of Tyler Schell, the defending champion of the series. Tim comes into the night 19th in the point standings after week 1.
Yeah, it didn't go the way that he wanted to at Volusia, as you see that we're on heat race number 3. 2 more heat races, 2 last chance showdowns before we hit feature competition. And you look at last season's point battle. For a lot of the season, Timothy Smith was there as well. Timothy Smith qualified 4th for this one. Needs to have a better effort than he did last week at Volusia. Currently in a transfer position, but he's got Blake Majulis on the outside looking in. Hayden Cardwell's on the outside looking in this heat race. There are a couple of drivers that are going to be looking to get up on the wheel and pick something up here and get themselves into round number 2 without having to go to a last chance showdown, as heat race number 3 getting ready to enter 3 and 4 and come to the green flag. The 3rd heat race is underway. Tyler Schell on the hammer, and he's away from what is now a battle for position number 2.
Tyler Schell jumps out to the early race lead. Race for second is on. Aiden Beerline's got the position over the number 21. Here comes Cameron Pritchard underneath of him. Takes the second spot away down the front straightaway. The rookie is up to P2 now in car number 21. Beerline back to third. And the race for fourth is on now with Timothy Smith and Blake Majula side by side down the backstretch.
Yeah, had a moment did Beerline on that first lap. Now looking back to the inside, was stuck on the outside, almost a little contact in behind them for position number 4, and up the hill goes Smith, and that's going to put Beerline back into position number 2, or Pritchard also there for that position. There's a lot happening here around this second place spot.
A good race for second again, 3 cars strong as they work off a 2 and down the back straightaway. Around the outside comes the number 86 of Timothy Smith. Remember back to last year, Tim, this is the race that took Timothy Smith out of the championship, did not make the show out of the last chance showdown, and now it looks like he's put in the practice and he's gotten better here as he's working around the outside for P2 here in heat race number 3.
And maybe a little less pressure on this round compared to where it was in the schedule last year. You're right on board with Noah Carpenter. Carpenter currently scored in position number 5, looking to get up here and make something happen up on the cushion, trying to get one more position to get into the feature through this heat race, but needs a little more and needs to do it in 4 laps.
Noah Carpenter came into the night 4th in the World of Outlaws point standings as a rookie driver. Now the outside of Cameron Pritchard. He's got the final transfer spot. The 42 car, impressive last week in his debut at Volusia Speedway Park. Now tries to get a little banana splitting through the middle right there, Tim, in the 42 car, trying to take that 3rd spot away.
Wants a little bit more as he battles with Pritchard. Pritchard on the inside, Timothy Smith dead ahead in the 86. Schell is gone from this battle for position number 2 as they continue to swap that second place position back and forth. Up top you see Schell. He'll come to the white flag this time. Final lap in heat race number 3. What happens here for the transfer position? Pritchard is currently on the outside looking in that white car, trying to get one more spot. They battle wheel to wheel for position number 2. Checkered flag for Tyler Schell. Schell picks it up, and it looks like it's going to be Pritchard on the outside looking in after starting. In position number 3, has that little bobble early in the race and eventually falls out of that top 4, finishes in 5th behind Carpenter, Smith, Beerline, and Schell. Majulis, Halsey, Zerzinski, and Cardwell also going to a last chance showdown. Those are already beginning to get stacked as we get ready to roll the final heat race momentarily. Chase, we're seeing some big names again drop to those last chance showdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. But we are going to talk to the number 85 of Tyler Schell here. Actually, real quick, let's take a look at the prizes. $10,000. Speaking of Tyler Schell, he took down that $10,000 prize last year. Big money. That is real dollars here we're talking. So $10,000 to the champion. And last year's champion now steps into the broadcast booth. The winner of heat race number 3 by 1.5 seconds. Tyler, I know the championship defense did not get off to the right foot last week at Volusia Speedway Park, but it looks like he turned things around in a hurry here with the Weedsport heat race win.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all. This whole week I've been terrible at qualifying, and somehow I hit a miracle lap in qualifying and was able to lay myself on the pole and just set sail from there. Car was on rails. Can't thank the boys back at M9 and elbows up, and try to go after in the feature.
All right, Tyler Schell, second place finisher here back in 2022. He's the heat race number 3 winner. Heat race number 4, the lineup. Let's get into it on the pole of this one. The driver is car number 25, Tyler Ducharme from Castleton, Vermont for Alpha Industries. And outside of him, the number 33, that's Evan C. from Spartanburg, South Carolina for CFM Esports. Row number 2 on the inside, the number 8 is Ross Kaiser from San Jose, California for Nitro Circus Sim Racing. And outside of him, the number 54 car, that'll be Casey Simons from Las Vegas, Nevada for Racecraft Academy. Row 3 on the inside, the number 9 car, that'll be Tanner Miller, and the driver's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for Scott Thomas and Racing. Outside of him, the number 74, that's Adam Elby from Tracy, California for Alpha Industries. Row number 4, the number 960 car, Sean English from Brandon, Florida for Elite Performance Industries. And the final starter in this one, the number 00 car, Kendall Tucker from Mount Airy, North Carolina for CFM Esports. Man, has it been a tough start to this season for the 00 of Kendall Tucker there, Tim.
Yeah, going to need to dig once again to try to get something happening here in this heat race. For more information on how you can get on the racetrack, whether it is dirt, pavement, road, whatever your fancy, iRacing.com to get signed up. Black Friday sales are already underway, so you can head over and save yourself a little bit of money, whether it is an activation, a new subscription, or maybe a renewal for yourself. But if you want to get more information on this series, iRacing.com/WOOSC, the portal for all information when it comes to standings, schedule, drivers, anything you need to know about the Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series can be found at iRacing.com/WOOSC. Final heat race of the evening set to go. Green flag racing here with Ducharme and C on the front row. And then, as we mentioned before, you got some drivers that are trying to get their way into the feature. You look at Sean English last week, picked up a heat win. Now on the outside looking in on this one, needs to get up on the wheel to at least get a transfer position out of this one. Green flag flies. We are underway for heat race number 4, and quickly it's Ducharme to the top spot.
No surprise, see Tyler Ducharme fast here tonight at Weedsport. 2 podium finishes here in his World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series career. Almost getting into the back of him right there off of turn number 4 was the 33 of Evan C in second. Then Ross Kaiser and Tanner Miller right now holds down that final transfer position.
And they continue to work. Elby in the 74. That's the white and green and black 74, trying to hold off Sean English. We talked about English trying to make their way a little bit closer towards the front of the field. And they are just behind Miller in the 9. That is the final transfer spot as they battle it out with Elby for 4th.
Elby moves up to the inside, takes away the final transfer, slides up to the top of the racetrack. Tanner Miller back to the inside. Good race for the transfer. They nearly get together at the end of the back straightaway. Miller throws a slider. Elby turns it back down the hill and down the front straightaway, has the 4th spot. We got a battle for the lead potentially shaping up as well, along with this battle for the transfer spot.
C has been able to reel back in Ducharme as that battle for the transfer continues to go back and forth. A couple of crossovers in between them as the number 9 of Miller trying to take it away or hold on over Elby. Elby on the outside gets that little bit of an advantage. Miller trying to get back in there and try to make something happen halfway through this heat race.
Halfway down and nearly contact between the 9 and the 74 right there into turn number 1. Looks like Adam Elby is going to have it clear down the back straightaway. Up front though, can Tyler Ducharme hold off the 33 of Evan C, who's only about a car length behind him with 3 laps to go? They get together at the front. Ducharme bounces off the inside wall and the 33 of Evan C takes the race lead away.
And that's all it takes, one little piece of contact, one little mistake, and Evan C goes to the lead. Now can Ducharme get back, or does he have to play a little bit of defense? As you see, the transfer position has gone awry as Miller takes that spot away. Elby falls in behind Simons, and now we have the white flag. Lots of action in this heat race, to say the least, as Evan C up in front, working through 3 and 4, and the 33 is going to come to the checkered flag first. C wins over Ducharme in a battle late in this one for C to take away the victory. Kaiser and Miller, your top 4. Tanner Miller had to hold off a strong pack in order to transfer in himself. Simons, Tucker, English, Elby finishes off your field. 4 heat races are in the books. We have 2 last chance showdowns. They are coming at you after this.
You say you can't wait to get to the track to pick up the latest World of Outlaws gear? Slide on over to worldofoutlaws.com to get your NOS energy drink, sprint cars, and case late model hats, decals, hoodies, and other great souvenirs. Buy $50 worth of merchandise and get free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. Why stand in line? Buy your Outlaw gear online. Visit the Outlaw General Store online today at worldofoutlaws.com.
This winter, get out of the cold at Florida's Volusia Speedway Park. In January, it's a late model palooza known as the Sunshine Nationals, followed a week later by the germ-free Southern Sprint Car Shootout. The spotlight turns to Florida in February. 2 weeks of the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals. And finally, World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars return in March for Bike Week Jamboree. Escape the winter and kick off 2024 at Volusia Speedway Park. Make your plans today at VolusiaSpeedwayPark.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there!
The World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster now does direct drive. The T818 is perfect for every sim racer with a constant, unfiltered 10 Newton meters of torque for precise and powerful force feedback. It's compatible with the full Thrustmaster ecosystem, including an improved quick release system. Place your order today at Thrustmaster.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Grab the 2023 Season Update or Edition on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch.
Welcome back to Weedsport. 4 heat races in the books. Our most recent heat race winner was Evan C. He has caught up with Chase Rodman.
Evan C. just recently crowned the 2-time now World of Outlaws late model iRacing champion. Gets the win in heat race number 4. Evan, close call there with yourself and Tyler Ducharme racing for the lead, but your car looked strong even prior to that. Do you think tonight could be the night where you get that first ever sprint car win?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a tough track, depending on what they do to track prep there, but, feel pretty good, felt pretty good in the heat there, and, I don't really mean getting the tire there. I think he was wanting to cut down to the bottom of the track, and I just didn't realize it, and made a little contact. But like you said, feel pretty strong, and hopefully we can get a pretty good run tonight, or maybe even get a win.
All right, Evan C., winner of heat race number 4. He'll be starting 4th in tonight's 35-lap feature event. Let's jump into the first lineup for LCS number 1. Number 32 car, Lane Snook, is going to be on the pole of LCS number 1, and outside of him, the number 21 car of Cameron Pritchard. Row 2 on the inside, the 47, that's Chance Siskowski, and outside of him, the 127 is Blake Majulis. Row 3, the 16, Joey Lindgren, and outside of him, the 88 car of Garrett Holsey. And on row number 4, that's where you're going to find the 38 car of Brett Strickler, and outside of him, the 22 of Alex Szerzynski. Final starter in this one is the 46, that is Matthew Powell. He will round out the field for 9 starters here in this C main. Blake Majulis clearly comes to mind here in this 12-lap affair. The top 2 will transfer on at the end of those 12 laps. Everyone else will have to try again next week. But like I was saying there, Tim, Blake Majulis, the 127, former late model series champion, been very strong here in these sprint cars over the years. He's got some work to do here in this one with a couple of hungry rookies right there in front of him.
I kind of like that second row. Majulis on the outside, Sikowski on the inside. Chance has had some speed in the heat race, in the hot laps, just hasn't been able to get that transfer position that he needs as of yet. So I kind of like that second row, but Snook and Pritchard have also shown some speed here this evening. Anything can happen. 2 last chance showdowns, and I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse, Chase, but we haven't seen a whole lot of huge incidents. We did see a couple at Volusia in qualifying. It's been relatively clean here this evening. I'm wondering, maybe the gloves come off here?
Absolutely, Tim. Turn 1 here at Weedsport is, you really have to slow down a lot to hit that corner correctly, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see maybe some bumping and banging on that side of the racetrack here. So out of the 9 starters in this one, 8 of them are rookies. The other is Blake Majulis. As here we go down the front straightaway, only the top 2 will make it out of these 12 laps. As they roll through 1 and 2, Lane Snook is going to come away with the race lead and tries to run away from the rest of the pack.
Keep your eye on that 127 of Majulis as he tries to make his way through the pack. Currently on the outside, was on the outside, still is battling with Lindgren for that position. That is position number 4 and 5 they battle for behind this side-by-side battle for position number 2 and the final transfer position. The bubble is on the line as they go wheel to wheel down to the corner.
Yeah, they just rub beadlock rings right there down the front straightaway between your second and third place cars. Chance Siskowski on the outside, on the inside, the number 21 car of Cameron Pritchard. Remember back to the heat race, Tim. Pritchard so very close to grabbing one of those transfer spots and not having to run one of these LCSs, but lost it late in the going and now is fighting for a featured transfer spot. Siskowski on the top of the speedway trying to pull away from the 21 as they work down the front straightaway.
And in behind them, I think you saw Lindgren go to the outside line as well, try to make something happen. Majulis has fallen to position number 6 as they continue to try to battle for these positions in the middle portion of this one. Snook has a little bit of an advantage. Siskowski trying to build that little bit of an advantage as well. Now Pritchard trying to hold off Lindgren. Lindgren looking to the inside as they'll come by this time and cross the halfway point. Here's Garrett Holsey in position number 5, trying to make something happen in front of him.
The driver out of Lone Jack, Missouri, trying to make his way towards the front of the field in that number 88 car. He runs in the 5th position, challenged on the inside behind him by Blake Majulis, but the car right in front of him, the 16 of Joey Lindgren. And whoa, Pritchard slides up right in front of him. What a great view right there for that on board with Holsey. Just goes to show how quickly things are happening out here on the racetrack at Weedsport Speedway. The race is on for third. Pritchard up the track, nearly got into the side of Lindgren right there.
And you need to be up on the wheel here, especially in these late laps. Try to get everything that you can. Siskowski was up the hill in the cushion looking to make something happen. Lindgren in the tire tracks trying to get that one more spot that he needs to make this happen. 3 laps to go. Snook is your leader. It is a dogfight for second.
A good race for the second position. I don't think Lindgren's out of it yet. Oh, he hits the wall right there in turns 3 and 4, able to keep his foot in the throttle, maybe only lost a car length or so. Dives to the inside now, runs the middle of the racetrack down in 1 and 2, and really is not that far behind Siskowski here as they come to the white flag this time by. Whoa, Pritchard tries to throw a slider. Lindgren drives around him on the outside, and now he looks to the inside of Siskowski in turn 1.
Lindgren needs to make something happen here in order to transfer in. Again,
oh boy.
Gets there, contact made. Battle for second is going to go to Lindgren. Had to make the move to make it happen and digs deep, makes a little contact, moves him out of the way, and Lindgren will advance, as will Lane Snook. Siskowski, Pritchard, Majulis, Powell, Halsey, Strickler, and Szerzynski are going to the house early from this round at Weedsport, and they'll have to figure it out for round number 3 next week. But or they may have an opportunity to take a little bit of a break and grab a controller and maybe do some other racing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The World of Outlaws Dirt Racing, it is available now. It's been available for a while, but if you live under a rock, it is definitely available. Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch. It is fun. F-U-N, capital F. It is actually a really, really good time. I was talking about it last week on the broadcast that UMP Modifieds of the Chili Boy, I really recommend that car and track combination. So much fun has been had. So many laps have been turned. If you want to race online with random people all over the world, you can do that. If you want to race split screen, which is kind of my favorite thing to do with friends in the hotel room or whatever it is, you can do that as well. Or they have a really in-depth career mode. This game's got it all.
Absolutely. If you haven't picked it up yet, be sure to do so and get yourself in the game and do some dirt racing yourself. We have, speaking of dirt racing, we have one more last chance showdown to tend to before the feature. Who's in this one?
And the number 20 car, Aiden Forster. He's going to be on the pole next to number 54 of Casey Simons. Row number 2 on the inside, the number 11. That is Kenny Hoffman behind the wheel. And the 00 car, Kendall Tucker, lines up to his right. Row 3, your 5th starter, the number 1 of Mason Hannigan. And outside of him, the 960 car. That is Sean English starting from 6th. Row 4, the 89, Nathan Vandewacker. And outside of him, the 74 car. That is Adam Elby. And then row number 5, the 41 car, Logan Rumsey. And the 07 of Hayden Cardwell. Looks like all drivers are going to make the call here, and that leads me to talk about the next point here, Tim. Cardwell, Rumsey, and Elby all starting in the last 3 positions here in this one. This is going to be a dogfight all the way through these 12 laps.
And oh, by the way, you've got Kendall Tucker starting in 4th. You got Mason Hannigan up here. You got Sean English up here. You've got a lot of the front runners in this series. Speaking of the series, if you want to learn more about the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, you can head to iRacing.com/WOOSC and get all the information that you need. Schedule, points, drivers, what have you. And if you want to get your career started, potentially maybe eventually get on the racetrack, with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. You can head to iRacing.com today. Black Friday is active. You can get your activations, your renewals. Maybe you want to become a new member. You can get them on sale now at iRacing.com. Next time by, we are going green. This may be, it's very early in the season, Chase, but this might be the most stacked last chance showdown we have seen in a very long while.
And I'd like to mention here, Logan Rumsey second in the point standings heading into tonight after the second place effort at Volusia last week. He actually had surgery on his shoulder, I believe, here over the last week. He is racing tonight with one hand. And so that is the issues for him. That's why he's back here in this LCS and not up front battling for a good position in the feature tonight. So 41 of Logan Rumsey racing with one hand here tonight and going to definitely take a hit in the points as we go to the green flag into turn number 1.
And already a little bit of contact, middle of the pack. They figure it out up in front. It is Forster taking the advantage as they work through corners number 3 and 4. And this is where the Hornet's Nest begins to start to rear its head. A little more contact down into 1.
Close call there for Simons as he got into it with the third place machine, a Kendall Tucker. Tucker's able to drive away, has that third position, and looks up the road to the top 2, Kenny Hoffman and Aiden Forster. They right now hold those tickets to tonight's feature event. Tucker, if he runs in that third spot, he's done for the night. 3 wide back there mid-pack.
They are going at it in this pack. It's anybody's race right now, and especially if you are running this 4th, 5th, and 6th place, you have to get up on the wheel and make this happen. Tucker, Hannigan, here comes Cardwell back to the inside in the 07. Hayden Cardwell trying to make up one more. That is 4th place. If he can hold it up the hill, Hannigan right there as well, and Vandewacker trying to get up here and make something happen in that red car just in behind him.
Remember, Cardwell, a former winner here with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series back in 2022. He knows how to get around this racetrack, did not get a good qualifying effort, wrecked out of the heat race, and now had to come from starting back in dead last in this thing, 10th. And he's up into the 4th position, looking to track down his former teammate, the 00 car of Kendall Tucker. Tucker's out of this thing as well, too. They are both looking to get up into the top 2 as you ride on board here with Cardwell. Look at that aggressive maneuver, drives it to the bottom of the track on entry and slides it up to the top, and it looks like those cars are getting closer, Tim.
The accordion is beginning to come back together. Cardwell almost got the wall there off of the corner as he gets up to Kendall Tucker to try and make position number 3 happen. And if he can, he's got to get by Tucker, but he's also got to get by Hoffman or Forster, who are doing a great job up in front. 4 laps to go in this last chance showdown.
Yeah, Hoffman and Forster not making any mistakes at this point in time and holding themselves nicely in those top 2 positions. Kendall Tucker has a win with the series in the past, has been very good here over the last 3 or 4 seasons with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, but man, the start to 2023 has not been good at all for the driver out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. 2 laps to go to try and get away by the number 11 car, Kenny Hoffman, as they work back into turn 1.
Needs to make this happen to transfer into the feature, but is running out of time. They'll come by this time and see the white flag. Forster and Hoffman are in the transfer positions at this point. Does it stay the same? Look at the run that Hoffman gets in the middle of 1 and 2. Trying to get up there and make his move on Forster. Maybe put a little bit of insurance on those battling side by side behind them. Checkered flag. It's Aiden Forster picking up the victory. Forster and Hoffman will transfer in to tonight's race at Weedsport. Everybody else going to the house, and look at the names that are packing up early. It's Kendall Tucker, Hayden Cardwell, Nathan Vandewacker, Mason Hannigan, Casey Simons, Sean English, Adam Elby, and Logan Rumsey. Complete your field in last chance showdown number 2. We have our 20 competitors, do a little bit of track rework, and we will be back after this with the feature.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster now does direct drive. The T818 is perfect for every sim racer with a constant, unfiltered 10 Newton meters of torque for precise and powerful force feedback. It's compatible with the full Thrustmaster ecosystem, including an improved quick release system. Place your order today at thrustmaster.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Grab the 2023 Season Update or Edition on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch.
Weedsport, if you're just joining us, you missed some fantastic qualifying action. You're seeing a lot of the first heat race that we saw with Alex Bergeron picking up the victory and moving on. And we saw James Edens there with a strong run, a couple of heat races, a couple last chance showdowns. We have our 20 competitors in chase. This is, it's been a story of two races so far. We've seen some big names kind of falter in these opening two rounds. We'll see who gets the upper hand here in just a moment in race number 2.
Yeah, it's been pretty weird to see a couple of these guys that we expect to see challenging for top fives each and every night, not even putting their names into the starting field for the features here, whether it's Volusia or here at Weedsport as well. But something to look forward to here in this one, Tim. We've got 20 starters. The guy on the pole looking for his first ever win with this World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, and he's going to have to do it here on this tricky racetrack here at the Weedsport Speedway located in Weedsport, New York. And relatively flat racetrack here, and as you've seen so far tonight throughout the heats and the LCSs, these drivers are able to go just about anywhere. Specifically in turns 1 and 2, I made the joke on a Dirt Vision broadcast earlier this year that I think you could go in turn number 1 and 2 and you could run that corner 83 different ways and still find speed at the exit one way or another. There's just so many different variables with this racetrack, and these drivers are going to have to deal with all those variables throughout this 35-lap feature event. It should be very exciting. They're out there right now getting some hot laps under their belts before we turn them loose for another feature here with this World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series.
And we saw a lot of great racing in the heat races and the last chance showdowns, but almost a complete rework from where we were. They have a little bit of time to kind of run this thing in, but compared to where we were in those heats and those last chance showdowns, which are now behind us, we are now getting ready to run for 35 laps. As you take a look at the practice session, the final couple laps of this hot lap session, and Chase, you can see it. They did some work after the heat races and the last chance showdowns.
Yeah, and it looks like it was, like you said, this is about a complete rework. I want to say it's a 2% rework there for these drivers, and so they're going to have some pretty breakneck speeds here early on, but really it's already, due to the 3 minutes or so hot lap session, it's already getting relatively slick on entry to turn number 1. So that is good to see. There's the weather forecast right now in the sim, 70 degrees. 5 mile per hour winds, 74 as far as the track temp goes. And it's a great day here in virtual Weedsport, New York, as looks like we're about ready to go down tonight's starting lineup for round number 2 of the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. Here it is on the pole, number 24 car looking for his first ever series win. It's Tanner Pettit. Outside of him, the number 12 car, the 3-time World of Outlaws champion, the number 12 of Alex Bergeron. Row 2 on the inside, the defending World of Outlaws Thrustmaster champion, the 85 of Tyler Schell starts third, and outside of him, the 33 of Evan C., the 2-time late model series champion. Row 3, the 50 car, Quayton Davies, and outside of him, the number 5, that is going to be Braden Eiler. Row 4 on the inside, 7 starter, the 13 car, Aiden Beerline, and outside of him, the number 25, that is Tyler Ducharme. Row 5, the 49 car, Ryan Avelin, the 52, that is driven by James Edens, with row 6 showing us the 86 of Timothy Smith and the number 8 of Ross Kaiser. Row number 13, the 23M of Kenny Miller III, and outside of him, the 14 is J.D. Brown. Row 8, the highest rookie in the points right now, the 42 of Noah Carpenter, and outside of him, number 9 of Tanner Miller. Row 9, the 32 car, Lane Snook, and the number 20 of Aiden Forster will make up that 9th row. Final 2 starters, the 16 of Joey Lindgren and the number 11 of Kenny Hoffman will round out the 20 cars going for 35 laps here at Weedsport. This is going to be good. Whenever there's a guy up front looking for that first ever series win, Tim, I get a little excited.
He's been to victory lane in this series a couple of times, including last week, looking to pick up his first one here. $10,000 to the champion, all the way down to 10th place at $200 per race pool, 300, 200, and 100. Somebody's going to pick up some cash here in those podium spots when we are done 35 laps. You might think, okay, we're talking about championship already, but there's only 10 races in this series. You miss one of these races, you get put behind the 8 ball. Consistency has been key in the last couple of seasons that we've covered here, whether it's in the sprint car series or whether it's in the late models. We've seen some of these drivers just miss that mark on consistency, and they miss out on that $10,000 payday. We'll see who can get the upper hand here and see if anybody can beat Alex Bergeron as we get ready to come back to the green in a couple of formation laps.
Yeah, Tyler Schell obviously did not have a good week last week. 19th place in the feature, got crashed out early. The defending World of Outlaws champion has got to have a good run here tonight. Almost has to be inside the top 5, probably on the podium here, and needs to right the ship here quickly if he wants to try and defend that championship. Alex Bergeron, obviously, a lot of people probably picking him to win this thing. Never even been in the top 5 at a finish of a race here at Weedsport in World Championship competition. This is not the best track or the number 12 car. Schell, however, he's finished 2nd here as recently as 2022, so he's definitely very good here. Tanner Pettit, he seemed to really enjoy this track in that post-heat race interview. He is going to be fun to watch. He's probably going to be a little bit nervous here, Tim, looking for that first ever series win.
We have seen some great racing so far in the heats and the last chance showdowns. We'll see if everything remains status quo or we see these drivers get a little bit rough throughout 35 laps of this one. Tanner Pettit going to lead this field to green. Alex Bergeron to the outside. Round number 2 from Weedsport is underway. Top 2 get single file, and Bergeron already looks to the inside.
Looks like everybody's going to make it through turn number 1 and 2 cleanly. Down the back straightaway here at the port. Your race leader is Tanner Pettit. He'll lead lap number 1. Bergeron running in the 2nd spot. 3rd spot's Tyler Schell. 4th is Evan C. And across the line, your 5th place car right now is the number 5 of Braden Eiler.
Eiler trying to rebound from last week as well. Continues to look that inside and continues to get a little bit racy as the field comes by down into the corner. Alex Bergeron continues to be stuck to that inside line. Pettit continues to lead around the middle, kind of looking down to that bottom side, but they'll come by this time, complete lap number 3, and it currently stands as the 24 up top.
Mentioned this last week at Volusia. With that fresh rework, this track is going to change significantly throughout this 35-lap feature. More than it would is if they didn't touch the track after the final last chance showdown. But with all this extra grip, the line will be moving around considerably almost every single lap with this many cars on the track. So keep an eye on that. Whoever wins this race, it's going to be the guy that follows the racetrack around the best here as far as the lines here. And it looks like Tanner Pettit's got it figured out right now.
Pettit has it figured out, but Bergeron, especially through 3 and 4, gets right up and gets that run, but cannot do anything with Tanner Pettit, your leader. Pettit and Bergeron up top, and then the race for 3rd on back on the bottom as they continue to try to pick up a little bit of ground on your top 2. Here comes Bergeron.
Bergeron's going to lead on lap number 8, takes the top spot away. Tanner Pettit fights back to the outside and looks like he's going to have the lead back down the back straightaway. So this is where Pettit, he's going to have to try something different here. Bergeron makes the move up the inside. Pettit tries to run the middle there. Does not get the grip quite yet there, but I'll tell you what, that top of the racetrack is going to come in here, but when does it? Maybe about 5 laps or so, we'll start to see these guys move up the racetrack. A little bit of a mistake right there from Bergeron, and Pettit's right back on the rear bumper.
Was about to say Bergeron had 3 and 4 figured out, but he lost a little bit there in 3 and 4, and Pettit tried to get a little more in 1 and 2. Alex Bergeron holds on to lead, and here comes Tyler Schell on the outside. What a run that he has.
We talked about the top of the racetrack. I said 5 laps, and I was wrong. It was on that exact same lap that I said at the top of the Speedway. Looks to be pretty fast right now for the driver of car number 85, the defending World of Outlaws champion, trying to get up to the second place position. Looks to the inside, looks to get to the inside in turn number 1. And Schell looks extremely good here early in this one. 12 laps in. Here comes the slider for P2. Can't get there, and Tanner Pettit drives around the outside of him.
Yeah, Pettit takes that second place spot back on that outside. Schell is going to have to try to regroup and make something happen for that spot just behind them in the battle for position number 5. They continue to go at it. Eiler trying to re-enter the top 5. He'll do so as he battles with Davies for that position. Battles all over this racetrack. Don't want to jinx it, Chase, but we've been 14 laps green so far and fantastic racing throughout the field.
Good stuff at the front of the field here as you look at Clayton Davies battling right there with the number 13 of Aiden Beerline. It looks like possibly the 52 car. James Edens is back there battling as well. That's right outside of the top 5 position. That is for 6th right now. The number 50 car, Clayton Davies, is in 6th. The next car up the road is the number 5 of Braden Eiler to try and crack into the top 5 for those drivers.
They continue to race hard for those positions. Middle of the pack, you see Edens in that purple number 52. To the outside, Avila trying to pick up a couple of spots as well. He's been on that outside cushion trying to make it happen on that second groove up there. The 52 might have missed the mark a little bit. Avila looks to the inside as Edens tries to hold on to what is position number 7 as they continue to go wheel to wheel.
Good stuff here, middle of the top 10 as James Edens looks to the outside, trying to get by the 49 car of Ryan Avila. Now Avila, he rolls the bottom real nice right there, gets by Edens for a moment, can't do it. We've got a battle for the lead brewing at the front of the field as Tanner Pettit has reeled back in. Alex Bergeron was up alongside of him down the backstretch the last time. It looks like Pettit has made his mark on this side of the track right here, Tim. Slides in all the way up to the wall and gets right up to the left or the right rear tire of Alex Bergeron.
He is definitely better in 1 and 2 than he is in 3 and 4. If he can hold his own like he can right here, Tanner Pettit may have something for the lead as Bergeron now goes to the outside through 1 and 2. He begins to search a little bit on the other end of the racetrack. Oh, by the way, here comes Tyler Schell. Schell a part of this one. We have a 3-way dance for the lead. It's Bergeron leading with 14 to go.
To get together in turn number 1, Pettit gave him the right rear, bounced off the left front of Alex Bergeron. Bergeron crosses back underneath him down the back straightaway. Good stuff here at the front of the field. Now Schell gets up alongside of Pettit down the front straightaway. 3-car battle, they nearly get together for the second spot. Close call between Schell and Pettit for P2. Great stuff here as the top 3 are battling hard for the race win.
Tanner Pettit trying to take it on the outside. Pettit, Bergeron, your leader to the inside, and Schell looking to make something happen from position number 3. Oh, by the way, you look to the bottom side, there's a battle for position 6, 7 on back outside the top 5. There is battles throughout this field, and up to the top shelf again goes Tanner Pettit, looking to take away the lead from Alex Bergeron.
3 different lines being used in 1 and 2 by the top 3 drivers. Bergeron likes his car right down by the inside wall. Then you got Pettit throwing a slider on himself, gets up to the wall, and then behind them, it is Schell rolling the middle of the Speedway. We've got less than 10 laps to go already. This feature has gone by in the blink of an eye. Only 5 minutes into this thing, and we are closing in on less than 10 laps to go. 9 to go for Alex Bergeron, looking for that first ever Weedsport victory.
We got some really close racing throughout the pack, though. This one is not over. Where did Braden Eiler come from? Eiler in the 5 is up here battling for the lead as well. He's got Tyler Schell just ahead of him. Tanner Pettit trying everything that he can to make a move on Alex Bergeron. You look back from car number 12. There goes Pettit up the hill one more time. Bergeron stuck to the inside.
And Braden Eiler, I didn't see him coming, and you might have said it there, Tim. He might be one of the best cars on the racetrack right now. He was way behind the top 3 and reeled them in quickly. At one point in time, I looked and he was 2/10 faster than the top position of Alex Bergeron as they come into turns 3 and 4, this time by Tanner Pettit. To the middle of the racetrack, tries to get to the right rear of Alex Bergeron. 1 car length separates him down the front straightaway. 5 laps to go from Weedsport, and Tanner Pettit is trying to get that first ever World of Outlaws Thrustmaster win.
and Shell and Eiler in behind, battling for that spot. It seemed like when Eiler got to Shell, he kind of just couldn't get by and still can't get by for position number 3. So 2 really good battles here in the top 5 as Tanner Pettit tries to make something happen. He's flirting with that outside wall in some of these laps as he tries to throw it into the corner to make up that ground that he needs to on Bergeron. As they continue to race down the back straightaway, they'll come by this time to 2 to go.
It looks like Pettit's going to need some kind of mistake out of the 3-time World of Outlaws champion if he wants to try and take down this win. He's ran a perfect race, but Bergeron is not making any mistakes, allowing the 24 car of Pettit to get up alongside of him or make any kind of bonsai move here as they come to the white flag this time by Alex Bergeron. To the white flag, 1 to go here at Weedsport.
Alex Bergeron, what a performance here at Weedsport down the back straightaway for the final time, looking to come up with his first win at this racetrack, and it will be picture perfect. Alex Bergeron picks up the win, his 2nd of the season in the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, holding off Tanner Pettit, and you can see the excitement from Alex Bergeron. He's been to the mountaintop before. He's won the championship. He's won races in this series, but you can still see that excitement that he has to pick up the 2nd consecutive win on this season so far.
Absolutely great stuff there from Alex Bergeron, and this place has not been very nice to him in the past. Best finish prior to this win was a 6th place run, never been inside the top 5, and you could tell when he came across the line, Tim, that this win definitely meant a lot to him to finally conquer the Weedsport Speedway, and he does it over Tanner Pettit and Tyler Shell, your top 3.
And those 3 drivers we'll chat to in just a moment. Caution free in this one, just over 8 minutes in length. These drivers were up on the wheel. Braden Eiler, we thought was going to be on that podium, finishes in 4th. Got to that top 3, just couldn't do anything with them. Evan C. in 5th, Clayton Davies in 6th, Ryan Avila in 7th, Kenny Miller, Aiden Beerline, and James Edens completes your top 10. Timothy Smith, J.D. Brown, Noah Carpenter, Aiden Forster, Lane Snook, your top 15, with Miller, Hoffman, Ducharme, Kaiser, and Lindgren completing your field. Lindgren, the only driver, laps down at the end of that one. What a fantastic race put on by these sprint car drivers, and I believe, Chase, you have caught up with our race winner, Alex Bergeron.
Alex Bergeron takes the checkered in just under 8 minutes there. A quick race here at Weedsport Speedway. And Alex, we saw it there when you came across the line, the emotion of winning here tonight. You've won plenty of races in this series, obviously, but to finally get one at Weedsport, it's got to feel pretty good. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you. It definitely feels good. We had a good car tonight, and we just had to stick to bottom, and something we didn't really do in the qualifying that I should have been able to do, and just couldn't stick to the bottom. So we tried the top there for the feature for 2 laps and just couldn't make it work. So went back to the bottom and got a close call with Tanner, but kept it clean with him, and we had a good race together. So definitely proud of this race again.
Yeah, tell us about that move from Tanner there. He saw the opening, went to the inside. Maybe it looked like on our end, maybe a little bit of contact there between the 2 of you, both able to keep going. And how tough is it in a moment like that, racing for the win, to try and keep your cool and cross back to the inside?
Definitely gotta stay calm, and stay focused. And I knew Tanner would race me clean, so we just kept it together and slowed down, stayed patient, and made sure to just hold the line on the bottom because the top was not best for us. So definitely a good decision to go back to the bottom. And I think that was the race decision there to make us win tonight.
Well, congrats on the win. That's 2 for 2. You are batting 1,000 here with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series in 2023. Congratulations tonight, Alex.
Thank you. Definitely got to thank all of our partners on board and everybody that supports us, our team as well. Aiden as well on the team, Rebecca, Jason, Brendan as well for spotting again tonight and beyond the box and helping myself, helping our team and me every week. So definitely got to thank you for that. And all you guys for broadcasting and iRacing, World of Outlaws, everybody who puts this up for us to race every weekend.
Alex Bergeron, 2 for 2 to open up the 2023 World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series season. Second place finisher tonight was Tanner Pettit. Tanner, so very close to getting that first ever win here with the series. Had a close call there with Alex racing for the win, but a second place effort here tonight. You got to be pretty happy with things that went on the racetrack tonight.
No, definitely really happy with the P2 finish, but It definitely stings a little bit, just coming up just a tiny bit short. Alex is super tough to beat. I have no idea how any of us are going to beat him this season at this rate. But P2 is solid. I'll take it.
Were you a little bit nervous there? Obviously, he's won some championships. He's won a lot of races on this deal, and he's probably extremely calm in a situation like that. Were you calm there, or were you kind of a little bit nervous knowing that you were close to getting the win?
I get pretty nervous on iRacing for some reason, so when he was right behind me for the first few, I was definitely a little bit nervous. I didn't really make any mistakes until that one in 3 and 4. I slipped up just a hair, and that was enough to let him by. But after that, I wasn't nervous, just really trying to track him back down and get back by him, but couldn't make it happen.
Well, you were fun to watch tonight for sure. Kept it interesting all the way through. Nice job on the second place finish.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tanner Pettit finishes up in second, driving car number 24, and in third, it is the defending World of Outlaws champion, Tyler Schell. And Tyler, this was a much-needed podium finish for you and the Elbows Up SimSport number 85 car tonight. After a disastrous week 1, you come back and do exactly what you need to do here tonight with third.
Yeah, that was, like I said, much needed. Didn't have a good week 1, but it's all about. I've been in the series long enough. If you make the features, the finishes will come. So the points will work themselves out. So just gotta keep making these features and staying out of trouble. And I think we'll have pretty good points finish.
Well, definitely a solid run here tonight. What more did you need from the car there to contend with Bergeron and Pettit? There was a point in the race that, your top 3 were kind of nose to tail, and it looked like you were going to have a shot at the win.
Yeah, I played it cautious. I think middle of the race, I might have had the better car. And then Alex just, at the end of the race, just got the bottom rolling again. And my setup was kind of fading. So we'll put that in the notes and be ready for next year. But, yeah, I'm definitely ecstatic for this finish compared to last week.
Nice job tonight, Tyler.
Thank you.
All right, Tyler Schell finishes in third, Tanner Pettit second, and Alex Bergeron getting win number 2 on the season there, Tim. And like Tanner Pettit said there, I think he's going to be pretty tough to beat this year.
Indeed he is, and you look at the point standings, already 30 points up. Alex Bergeron is Tanner Pettit going to move to second. James Edens, Evan C., Ryan Avila, your top 5. And Carpenter falls to 6th, rookie on the series, and Schell is already back up to position number 8. Lots of moving to do throughout this season. Only 2 races in. An absolutely phenomenal race. That was a great show put on by the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. And we've got 8 races more to go Monday evenings. And we head up the road in just 1 week time and do it all over again. But this time it's at Williams Grove, Monday, November 27th. We saw some great racing action here this evening. Can they continue it on next week?
Well, I'll tell you what, Alex Bergeron wins tonight, his first ever time at Weedsport, and now they go to the track that is arguably his favorite on the entire schedule. So no rest for the weary when it comes to the other competitors going against that number 12 car. He is going to be extremely tough to beat as well here when we head to Williams Grove, just south here of the Weedsport Speedway in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The biggest track that we go to all season long with the series. Extremely long straightaways, hairpin corners, and extremely wide racing surface. I think they're going to put on a great show next week as well.
And we'll see if anybody can stop Alex Bergeron. 2 for 2 to kick off this 2023-24 season. And we'll see what happens next week at Williams Grove. That's going to do it for us here this evening for the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. On behalf of our entire iRacing production staff and Chase Rodman, my name is Tim Terry. We will see you next week when we say, let's go racing with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. Until then, keep the hammer down and we'll see you at the track.